Hey everyone, welcome to your Take a Peek at 2022 reading. We want to take a peek because do we really want all the surprises ruined? Because how fun would that be? I know, sometimes we wish maybe I would like to know everything that's going to happen, but I think we've tried that before and it was very boring, so we'll leave the exciting journey, going forward. And besides, we'll get messages and hints all along the way, so if you don't want to miss out on any of those videos that I put out throughout the weeks and the months of all next year, and you want to get notified immediately, if you haven't done so already, if you click the subscribe button down below, that'll just make a little notification bell pop up, and then you can select to be notified immediately, and that way you won't miss out on a thing, because 2022 is going to be an amazing year. The physical world is going to continue to disappoint us until we discover more and more of the powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being we really are. And we'll find that when we're looking on the inside, right? And I just announced on New Year's Eve last night, this video is coming out on January 1st, but I did a little video announcing that I'm going to be having a weekly video for all of 22 called You times 2, and that are going to be basically messages about how we can do that, how we can discover that there are two of us inside of us, our human side, but then also, this character of the human, but we're more than that. We are this powerful supernatural being. And so all of those messages are going to be about just how we understand that, who we are, etc. So if you want to look into that, you can check out the video that I put out last night. I go into a little more detail, but stay tuned because it's coming and I'm super excited about it. But for this reading, let's go ahead and jump in and take a peek at your 2022. And you're going to have three choices. You have the star, the sparkler, or the fire rocket. And of course, you can choose as many of those as you want, whatever you're drawn to. I'll have timestamps in the description box below for all of them, but I'm going to jump into number one first. So if you want any of the others, just click on that timestamp and it'll jump you forward to that video. But I'm going to start with reading number one, the blue star, right now. All right, on my Virgos, if you chose reading number one, which is the star card, then this is the reading for you. We're going to start off your sneak peek with a card here from the Enchanted Map Oracle. It's the Enchanted Map Oracle. I'm just going to see overall what the creator wants you to know right now about 2022. All right, so for our Virgo stars, what would you like them to know, please? Okay, that is the one right here, and you've got the Magic Stream, card number 18. Let's put that right here, and let's see what message comes with that for you. So everything is connected through the universal flow of consciousness. Every experience you have seems to have its own life story with a beginning, a middle, and eventually an end. However, there is danger in seeing these events as separate from one another, since in fact they're all part of a continuity and a greater evolution. And it means every ending is a new beginning, so it's a constant flow of a story for our lives. And it says, like an ever-flowing magic stream, your experiences filter through the whole world, one leading into another, informing and influencing still more. Inspiration, invention, and revelations rarely come to just one person. The collective awareness is a shared storehouse of potential. When you remember you're part of the fluid continuity of life, you become a channel for great inspiration. So allow the magic to flow through you and carry your dreams into reality. Your success will benefit many. So it's kind of like I've seen this picture of like this tapestry where you don't understand how thoroughly your thread of life is threaded through the tapestry, and how many lives that you have touched and that you do touch on a regular basis, because you're seeing through the eyes of your filter and you're thinking, well, this is how I'm supposed to know when I'm touching other people's lives, or I'm making any kind of impact on the world. But you don't, because the impact, it's like you plant a bunch of seeds and you don't see all the seeds growing underground because you only have the view from up top. You're not under the soil. It's not like one of those National Geographic, kind of Discovery Channel movies where you have the side plate where you can see everything growing. You only have the perspective of seeing from the outside in, but there's so much happening inside of people because of the love that you're sharing, because of this passion that you're sharing with the world. You're shining bright with the world. And then we're going to pull some cards here from the True Heart Intuitive Tarot. And we're just going to see what else the Creator wants you to know about 2022 in your little sneak peek through the keyhole of the door. All right, so what else do you want our Virgo stars to know about 2022? Okay, they want that one there, and that one there, and that one there. Yep, okay, and they want that one there, that one there, and that one there. And actually do you want all three of these? Yeah, they do, okay. We listen. All right, let's start here then and see what we've got going on. You have the Seven of Wands. And Wands is your spark, your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration, like it talked about here. And it also is your spiritual energy. And there's this message that comes with here. You can see how they're holding the shield there, that you don't need to defend. You don't have to worry about defending who you are in your life, what you're doing in your life. You get just to express who you are and do what you're doing, because you are shielded already. And it goes into that, what I was talking about in the beginning, how you don't see the impact that you're having in other people, and you don't need to worry about that. You don't have to worry about what other people think about what you're doing in life. Just you be you, you're being your authentic self, and you're in that position just to be you, and then everything else just flows fine. And this shield is protecting you. It is this beautiful barrier. It's kind of like when you're an empath and you feel everyone's emotions. Eventually you just have this shield, this little force field, this little gelatin that forms, where you don't take on everyone else's emotions and everyone else's opinions and everything else. It just sticks into that shield, into that field. You can still see it because it's transparent. You can still feel people's emotions and see people's emotions and hear people, but there's this bubble that protects you from taking it all on to you. Yeah, because here you go, Five of Cups. So, and I really feel like this is not your emotions. This is not what you are experiencing yourself. And I normally don't read the card this way, but because of the way they had me read this card, which is not normally the way I read that card, this is everyone else's emotions. This is that shield. You have this kind of like picture library of everyone's emotions, everyone's spilt emotions here. Cups are your emotions, if I didn't say that already. And so you're sitting in the waters, and so you are connected. You feel the feels, you feel the emotions, but these cups, these disappointments of everyone else, are what you get to see, and you no longer take those into it's like they spill outside. They don't spill into your emotions, into your tub. So it's a very good picture of what I was trying to say here. And then you have the Two of Cups behind here, which is what your foundation is, and that is the shield that has your back, because the Two of Cups is kind of like I mentioned in the intro about 2022. One of the cups is your human self, your shadow that's experiencing this world with fight or flight and all those wonderful, juicy shadow emotions. The other one is the Holy Grail, the chalice. It represents your higher self, your higher spiritual self, the one that you're getting to know so well in this coming year. And it pours in that beautiful unconditional love into your tub. It fills you up with a beautiful unconditional love that is peaceful, joyful, full of laughter and life. It's not so dark. So I love this magic stream that's happening, this water, this stream of life that is coming for you. Yeah. And the moon. So again, the waters. The moon is Mother Nature, Mother Nurture. It's very motherly oriented, because the Luna, the moon, represents a very nurturing, divine feminine side. It also helps us dive into the unconscious, the subconscious, which is the stream here. And it gives you in contact with the higher realms, the capital T truths. And so this is perfect with what is unfolding here, because this is the ebb and flow of our emotions of life, because that's what the moon does with water as well. So this whole water theme that's going on for you here is a very powerful year. 2022 is about unlocking this new level of emotion that you haven't felt before. And then we go in here, we have the Six of Wands, which is right before this one here. Again, Wands is your, inspiration, your spark, your drive. And the Six of Wands, what it represents is being noticed. And I kind of feel like normally I kind of focus in on the spiritual realm is where you're being noticed by, and you're becoming aware of that. The spiritual realm notices who you are, what you do, everything about you. But I really feel like this goes beyond that for this next year, because of this brightness that you're bringing, this inspiration that you're bringing, actually does allow other people to see you. You are like this bright, shining star. I mean, it even looks like a little sun around the little, is that a quail? Or it's some sort of bird, but you have your little crown on there too. And it's like this beautiful sunrise, this beautiful brightness that people see. It's like you're almost glowing. And this happens and unfolds throughout the year as you really understand and dive deep into these new waters. Okay, and there's the sun. So like I was saying, a bright sun on here. So you definitely, it's shining from the inside out, but it does start with you this year. And the sun card is one of the most abundant, successful representing card there. I mean, you got the sunflowers, on either side. You got this beautiful mountain. You see things from the higher perspective. You see things from way up above with this new bright light that's shining in for you. So I'm loving this. So, yep. And then you have the Four of Discs, which would be the Four of Pentacles. And Pentacles are about your outside world. And really, this Four of Pentacles, think of fours as, like there's four strong legs on a table. It's a very strong foundation. And Pentacles has to do with your worth from the outside world perspective and how you see yourself in abundance wise with the world. And so this is a very strong foundation. It can represent celebrations. It can represent, they always say like weddings and different things like that. But this is about more than that. There's this beautiful butterfly, which is this transformation that is rising over the horizon like a sun. It's rising over here, but this transformation that's happening, this is the center of what everything is looking like. And it's like, boom, this is you. This is you. Yeah, and then you have the Five of Swords. So swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes, and kind of like this Five of Cups here, it's all about transformation on how you are seeing things. So where this is a transformation in your emotions, this is transformation in your thoughts. You're literally focusing on yourself, because how you see the world isn't how it is. So we don't see the world as it really is out there. We see the world as we are, and that's the world that we see it through. But you have this Ace of Swords that's kind of going through the pupil, and you have these other swords over here, which represent how you I call them the small T truths, which come from our fear ego. They come from our shadow. It's all those supposed to be's, those should be's, those need to be's, those have to be's. But that Ace of Swords is allowing you to see the capital T truths, as well as cutting away those thoughts and those beliefs that no longer serve you. You did experience them on purpose for a purpose, but you are ready to move into something else. You're ready to move beyond feeling all that restriction, all that limitation, all that powerlessness. And as you connect to the mighty, beautiful, bright light that you are, you realize that you are a powerful, supernatural, eternal spirit being made of unconditional love. So there's this transformation that happens in your thoughts and beliefs around that too. Yeah. And this is how you do it. You have the Queen of Swords here, which she's yielding that big Ace of Swords. So if there was any doubt, it's like, yep, you are empowered to cut away those thoughts and those beliefs and connect to the capital T truths of the spirit realm. All the queens carry the energy of their suit. In this case, swords is air, but all the queens, all of them also carry water. And so this is the balancing of heart and mind that comes about as well. But you are very empowered here. And again, they have all these beautiful butterflies that are flying around here. If I can get there, you go. All those flying and fluttering around her. So all this beautiful change and transformation of thoughts and beliefs is happening in so many different areas of your life, because this is the foundation of who you are. Yep. And then if I had any doubt, you got the Justice card, which she's standing on the Ace of Swords. She's balancing out those capital T truths from the small T truths. And so you're really getting this balancing where you might have been feeling with your mindsets kind of pulled and pushed in different directions. This is a very calming, balancing, beautiful unfolding of those energies for this coming year. But really, this is the huge thing, and that's why they wanted to have all this, because all of this is your life that's unfolding, but this is the key right here. This is recognizing that you are the sun. And we're going to pull at least one card from here, the Art of Manifestation cards here. Just see what else the Creator wants you to know about 2022. All right, what else for our little Virgo stars? Okay, that one. Any others? No, they just want the one. And you've got unhappiness, number 16. And it says, unhappiness is frequently the result of an inability to live in alignment with the calling of our soul. When this happens, our uneasy and challenging emotions are an indication that we need to listen to ourselves. This card asks you to have faith and to trust. Get still, meditate, listen to the voice of your heart, and open yourself to receive guidance. So yeah, definitely it's about getting still, like the little card shows there. And what's perfect with this is that this is your answer. Again, this is getting quiet, connecting to your higher self, connecting to the higher realms. And that's how you do it. You get still, you get away from all the chaos, you get into the eye of the storm, you get quiet, and then you purposely raise your vibration to one of unconditional love and joy and peace and laughter, because that's your true essence. That's the true beingness are on the other side. And in raising your vibration here on this planet in your human form, that allows you to connect more to your spirit, which then allows you to connect to the whole spiritual world. So your guardian angels and your spirit guides and your loved ones on the other side, and your ancestors, and of course the Creator and Spirit, the Holy Spirit, whatever you believe are those beings of unconditional love and light on the other side, you get to connect to that, and you can see that you are this beautiful brightness. You are truly a being of light. But like here, this little shadow self, we came here to experience what it might feel like to be our opposite, to more fully understand who we really are. And so our outside world, all these small t truths of our ego, those are the dreams, those are the supposed tos, the shoulds, the need tos, the have tos, these dreams that were handed to us going, this is your dream, this is what you're supposed to do, but you don't have any oomph. If you don't wake up in the morning excited to go do that, that's not your dream. That's someone else's dream they handed to you. Because when you connect to your dream, like this is talking about, you will wake up in the morning and be like, oh my God, I can't wait to get started on that. Boom, 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 boom. And you have this endless, boundless energy to do that. So I love this awareness that's going to be coming for you, but really, just really, really zero in on this card here. This is you. So I love it. And again, as I mentioned in the beginning of the intro, this is just a small little piece, a little sneak peek of 22. By no means, it is not all inclusive what's been going on in your life in 2022. But if you want to be kept up to date as we go throughout 2022, I do put out videos each month by each zodiac sign, also weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc. Also new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of other readings. So as I mentioned in the introduction of the video, if you want to get notified of when these come out and not miss them at all, then if you just click the subscribe button down below, that'll make that notification bell pop up, and then you can just choose to be notified immediately. And if you are enjoying these videos and want to help share the love and share these messages of love from above, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, that just helps the YouTube algorithm share the video with others as a suggested video or recommended video. So by no means, no pressure in doing that, but if you do want to do that, I greatly appreciate it. All right, my beautiful Virgos, just know that as you go through each and every second of every day of your life, you are unconditionally loved by the Creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing 2022, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. Until then, you take care. All right, on my Virgos, if you chose reading number 2, which is the Sparkler, then this is the reading for you. We're going to start off by pulling a card here from the Enchanted Map Oracle, and just to get into a little sneak peek into 2022, to see what the Creator wants you to know right now. All right, so for our little Sparkler Virgos, what would you like them to know about 2022? Okay, it's going to be that one right there. Do you have intention? That's card number 22, which would be for 2022. So that is very fitting. And let's take a look here. So intention. Deliberate, clear intentions have the power to change the world. Your objectives will be fulfilled in 2022. Inspired intentions are like magic arrows shot into the sky. The universe is bringing you a gift, showing you that you are hitting your mark. Recognize that you're not the one who has to do all the work, however. Others help you co-create reality. You connect to the power of your intention, sending it out into the field, then allow for synchronicity to work its magic. Perhaps the good intentions of others will inspire you to send out beautiful ones of your own. Own the life you want to lead and live deliberately with clarity and detachment. And that's beautiful, because I like that you don't have to do all the work yourself, because you figure out the what, right? You make the little wish like the little owl does here. He's holding the little dandelion. You make the wish and blow on it and let it go out into the field. And then The how and the when is up to the Creator, is up to all your posse of support on the other side. All those beings of unconditional love and light are going to help bring those things to fruition for you. So it's letting go of that, thin line of how things, when it has to happen and how. And when you open that up, it just opens up the world to new possibilities for you. We're of course going to dig in a little more here through the True Heart Intuitive Tarot and just see what else the Creator wants you to know around these intentions and your plans for 2022. All right, Creator, what else do you want our Virgo sparklers to know? Okay, so you've got to these 3 here. What else? Okay. Okay. And that one. So you've got these 3 here. Let's take a look. So we've got, first of all, the 7 of Wands. And the first reading, this is exactly the card that came out here as well. So if you're torn between the two, you might want to check out number 1 as well. But Wands are your drive, your ambition, your aha inspiration. And this is so perfect because with all your intentions, you don't have to worry about protecting yourself. You just have to stand behind the shield, and the shield will take care of the rest. So you don't have to worry about defending what you want in life, what you want to do, where you want to head. You just get to be you. You just get to make a stand and stand your ground and just hold up that shield. You don't have to worry about all these flaming arrows, which these are wands, but the flaming arrows that are sticking in the shield, because they're not going to impact you and you don't have to worry about them. You can freak out if you want. If you want to have some emotion, if you want to, have some fear, go ahead, freak out, as the arrows fling into your shield and all that, but you don't have to if you don't want to. I was being a little facetious there. And then you have the King of Wands, so how perfect is that? So in addition to being your drive, your ambition, your inspiration and all that, it also represents your spiritual energy and your energy. And with the King being at the very end of the suit, this is the highest spiritual energy that you can experience. This is your higher self. This is what 2022 is all about, connecting to your higher spiritual self, really getting to understand and remember who you really are as you look past all the fears and all the shadows of this human experience that you're having. You get to experience this higher spiritualness and binding and, joining hands together with your lower human self and your higher spiritual self. You get to experience life in a whole new way. That's what the 2022 is really all about. And here you are making yourself known here, going, yep, this drive and the ambition, I'm going to be helping you so much through this next 2022. I had a feeling this was going to come up because when I was talking about not having such a narrow focus and that new possibilities and opportunities would come, well, here you have the Ace of Discs or the Ace of Pentacles, which is all about the gift of new possibilities, new opportunities coming in the outside world for you. So you definitely have this openness that's happening, this like planting of new seeds, new it's like this, I want to say opportunities. It's even more than that. It's like this new inspiration, this new way. But the phrase that's going through my head is that you're going to find ways where you seemed to find no way before, where there was these blocks and you were like, there's no way that I can get past this. There's no way that this can unfold. And suddenly, boom, there's this new way of doing it, this new opportunity, because you have moved beyond that little 2 walls and walking such a fine way of how it has to happen. You're just like, boop, and there's all these opportunities that you see of like, oh my gosh, now I see 5 ways that I can solve that problem or get past that issue, whereas before you didn't see any way. So it's really blasting open the opportunities and the awareness for your 2022. Yep, you have the 8 of Discs. So again, discs are your outside world, also called the Pentacles. And this is the 8s are like the education, the wisdom, the knowledge, and moving beyond those things. And you can see here, this is kind of like you're an apprentice and you've been working on fine-tuning a skill, and you've been doing and putting out all this beautiful work, but you have done so much that by the end of 2022, you do, like this says here, get to see you move to this next level. It's almost like an example, and this is not for everyone, it's a general reading, but let's say you were in school and you did all of your general education requirements before, and then you took the classes that you wanted to do and you got your bachelor's, and now and then you went back for your master's, and now you're like graduating with your doctorate. I mean, it's like you've gone through these steps and stages of learning and growing and improving your skill, whatever that might be in whatever area of your life. But this is like the graduation. It's like during this year of 2022, you really come to this culmination, this completion of everything you've been bringing together, and it just fits in so well. So I love that this is reiterating what we talked about the intentions too. Yep, and here's the High Priestess. So the number 2, she is the one that goes behind this veil, delves into the unknown, to the unconscious, the subconscious, and connects to the higher realms, and it's right here above the King of Wands. So this is definitely this message of connecting higher, making sure you're taking the time, like the High Priestess does. She goes into her temple, away from all the noise of the outside world, away from everything else, and she purposely, consciously connects to the higher realms so that she can find those capital T truths, glean this wisdom, get answers, get synchronicities, get messages, whatever it might be. And because of that, that is what this fire that is burning inside of you, you just don't feel like you're taking a chance, because like all these intentions that you're putting out, this beautiful energy you're putting out, it's almost like the magician energy too, which is right before the High Priestess. You're realizing you have everything you need inside of you. You've got all the swords, which is all the knowledge in your brain. You have all the emotions, which are the cups, the waters. You have all the wands, which is your drive and your ambition. And all the pentacles, you have everything you need in the outside world, and you just have this knowledge and this awareness that I've got everything in my hands to make my life happy, to make my dreams come true, my intentions. But you get a lot of clarity on what your true dreams are as you connect to your higher realm, because you do have like all these wands that are coming at you, which are people telling you, no, that's not what you're supposed to do with your life. Do this instead. Do that. Do this. You have so much talent. Do all this stuff. And it's like, no, you're standing your ground and you're standing firm on what you want to do for a change, which is great. Yeah. And then you have the Hanged Man, which is all about seeing things from a different perspective, right? Because you can keep flipping this card and you see it from different points of view, right? It's like, well, this looks like the tree here. It's like, no, this is the fruitful tree that you're hanging from, and you're seeing things from a new, higher, different perspective, which allows you to see the truths about what you really want in life. And again, opening up these opportunities, because you're going to see ways where you saw no way before. And this big brightness around his head is all about connecting to your higher awareness, your higher intelligence, your higher self. So this is definitely being reiterated. 22, your higher self, you're connecting to the higher self world and connecting and seeing things from a different perspective, from a higher perspective. So definitely the theme is being repeated over and over and over again here. We're also going to pull some cards from this Art of Manifestation Oracle, and just see what else the Creator wants you to know. Got this little sneak peek into 2022. All right, what else for our Virgo sparklers? Okay, they don't want those, but they do want these right here. So you've got Imperfection, card number 23. That says love right there. You can see that with the glare. It says, in our goal-driven world, we can seek to blame whenever things do not run smoothly. And yet, it is our imperfections that make our human lives the perfect vessel for the evolution of the soul. Strive to be the best that you can be. Cherish your mistakes and those of others, and honor the learning to be found in every experience. So definitely the imperfection, I'm glad this came up here because this is about when things aren't unfolding exactly as you think they should be. It really brings this clarity into your life because it's challenging all your small t truths of the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, the have to be. And we realize that, there is no imperfection in the world. Everything is always unfolding perfectly for us because everything that happens is always whittling away at this facade of this shadow that we've built upon ourselves all this time that's hiding the true self that we are. And it's not so much that we, like when it talks about be your best self, you are your best self. You never stopped being your best self, but you were convinced that you weren't best. You were convinced that you have failures and mistakes and imperfections and all of that. That's part of this journey that we come here to experience what it might feel like to be limited and powerless and conditionally loved instead of who we really are, which is powerful, eternal, perfect being of unconditional love, right? And so this awareness that comes as all these accusations of being imperfect come, they challenge your belief in who you are. And it's like we whittle away and we start pulling away all the stickers that have been put all over like our windshield and all the windows on our car, let's say, and it starts peeling away to where you can really see, and you start to see who you really are. And you're like, oh, I had no idea it was so dark because of all this, I want to say lies, but they are untruths about who you are. Instead, it's all these small t truths that stuck against all the windows, and it's the peeling away where you start to remember who you really are. So it's not that you're becoming better, it's just the awareness around who you are is what becomes evident as we do our inner work and we start peeling away all those stickers. And then you have problems. Along those same lines, right? This card asks you to view any problems as an opportunity rather than a crisis. And whenever we identify a problem, our very recognition and acknowledgement of this difficulty creates an opportunity to seek a potential solution. As long as a problem remains unseen or indeed denied, the doorway to a potential solution remains closed. And I really feel this is like what we were talking about here with seeing things from a different perspective, and then you see this whole world of new opportunities open up. So when there's a problem, we kind of look at it as there's just a block. There's something in the way, and that's when we connect higher. We stop looking at this narrow way of how things have to happen and when they have to happen. We just let it open up naturally. And that's when you see the answers to these problems come. And you're like, oh, it really wasn't a problem at all. It was my viewpoint that was causing, let's say you're on this path here and there happens just to be this giant stone here. And you go up here and you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way around it because this is your viewpoint. You can only see here. But when they're like, no, expand your view, and you're like, oh, I can just walk around it. Problem solved. And then you have nurture, card number 37. And that says, whenever we sow seeds, however much we yearn to see them grow, we cannot force them to develop any quicker than nature will allow. But we can provide them with the best possible conditions to grow. Whatever you have initiated in your life, right? Intention. This card is here to encourage you. Be patient and nurture your relationship, your idea, your project with love. With love. Yeah, love. So yeah, definitely this is right in alignment with what you're talking about here is, you can't force the when, you can't force the how. You plant the seeds, it grows. You give it all the beautiful, nutritious stuff that it can have for it to grow, which is giving it of yourself, of your higher self, your unconditional love. You just give this moment everything that you can without fear. You do it with your passion, with your love, and you don't worry about all the future stuff, right? Or the hows. And if there is an obstacle that comes up, then that's when you look higher from this higher perspective, and that's where you see the answers for it. And sometimes the answer is for you to be still and let it unfold, right? Because I know whenever I feel that angst bubbling up within me, it's because I'm focusing on a time frame or how I think it should unfold. And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, there's got to be, if it's not happening a certain way, that means there's an even more exciting way that it's going to unfold instead of my little narrow thinking, right? All right, but I love this for you. And again, this is just a small little sneak peek into 2022. By no means is all encompassing of what your experiences are going to be. But I love this for you. And if you want to be kept in the loop as new videos come out throughout 2022, I do put out like monthly readings by each zodiac sign, weekly readings by each of the energies of the elements like fire signs, water signs, etc., new moon and full moon readings, and a variety of others. So as I mentioned in the introduction, if you want to be notified when those come out so you don't miss them, if you just click the subscribe button down below, that'll make that notification bell pop up, and then you just click to be notified immediately, and you are good to go on that. Also, if you're enjoying these videos and you want to help share the love and share the messages with the world, if you give this video a little thumbs up and click that like button, then that just allows the YouTube algorithm to share this as a recommended video for others as well. Never any pressure to do so, but if you feel so inclined, I greatly appreciate it. All right, my dear Virgos, just know as you're going throughout each and every second of every day of your life that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing 2022, but I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care. All right, all my Virgos, if you chose reading number 3, which is the fire rocket, then this is the reading for you. And we are going to start off by pulling a card here from the Enchanted Map Oracle, just for the sneak peek into 2022. So we'll see what the creator wants you to know about 2022 right now. So, all right. So for our Virgos that chose the fire rocket, what do you want them to know about 2022? Okay, it's these two right here. And you have the storm fields, number 9. Try to do that without a glare on there. There you go. And then you also have solitude, number 13. And a kind of, the 9 in the major arcana of the tarot is the Hermit, and the solitude is kind of that same kind of energy. So that was jumping out to me, and I really feel like 2022, it's not like you're going to be in solitude away from everything in the world, but it very much has to do with making sure you're taking time for you, taking time away from everything to do what they are wanting you to do. And let's take a look here. So Stormfields, it says, "This too shall pass. An uncomfortable chaos is surrounding you. Things that you've left unattended may be the cause of some conflict. Pent-up energy needs release, just as a storm in nature must break. For these events occur when the electricity between opposing forces stirs things up and creates temporary disorder. Not all storms are destructive. Rather, they serve nature by bringing rain to the ground and wind to the trees, enabling seeds to be widely distributed and continuous growth to be ensured. Just remember that whatever is being stirred up inside you or between you and another will benefit you later. The sun will shine again, and new growth will be observed. Don't be afraid to shake things up a little. So I really feel like, yeah, this is you. This is that storm, and you're moving into the eye of the storm to be able to really look at things. And let's take a look here and see. Yeah, so right to it. There we go. It says, I am comfortable in my own skin as I detach to replenish my soul. Meditation is required when you receive the solitude card as a sign. Empty your mind of superfluous thoughts and allow stillness to flow through your whole being. This is not an advantageous time to ask questions or push forward in any way. Rather, it's a period for a conscious retreat. What's called for now is to step back and take your focus off your life and your troubles. You'll be surprised by how things sort themselves out once you've replenished your energy by means of a much needed rest and time out. So, yeah, definitely, it's like this storm that happened and raged. You're ready for some solitude to reflect on this. Move to the eye of the storm where you can, it's like, I would say assess the damage, but you assess the impact of the storm on your life, looking at the cause of the storm, the impact of the storm, and how to avoid other storms in the future if you don't want to face those. And of course, whatever storm is necessary to clear out our lives will always come for us. It's not happening to us. Our storms always come in and happen for us anywhere. Like it says, to clear things out, to have that storm break, to balance that electricity and all that energy that's going on. We'll dig a little more in here, of course, through these True Heart Intuitive Tarot. See what else the Creator wants you to know about this 2022 sneak peek. Right, what else? What else do you want our Virgo little fire rockets to know? Okay. Okay. So I feel, of course, this one and these two, and then you have this one, and this one, and this one, and actually one more, that one. Okay. So let's take a look here and see what this brings. We've got, yep, Six of Cups, and this makes sense because cups are your emotions, and the Six of Cups is called like the nostalgia card, and it is about reflecting on past emotional experiences. And you can see the little butterfly ship here with the butterfly sails, and this isn't about going back and jumping in the waters and rehashing and experiencing it all over again. It's about taking this boat back here, and you go on this little trip, and you go and you visit, and but you're visiting it in a whole different way because you're not sparked by it again. You don't, restart the storm again and go, okay, let me experience this 100-mile-an-hour winds. It's like, no, you go with the ship and you go by it and you glance back at it and you look at it during the solitude. But you go back from this new perspective because you are not the same person as you were before. You are a more powerful, supernatural, eternal, being. You're connecting to that. You're understanding that. You are not in fear anymore either when you're going back in a calm place to go back and glance at it. So with you're not in fear and you're not in your reactionary mode in fight or flight, you're able to see the situation more clearly. One, looking at, okay, how was I reacting out of fear during that situation? And the other is, how is the other person reacting in fear in that situation? Because if it's not an emotion of unconditional love that you were experiencing, then it was based on fear, because it's either one or the other in our lives. We're either experiencing this beautiful love where we just feel bliss and love and joy and laughter, or we're experiencing the fear. And when we, the human, goes into fight or flight mode, we're literally out of our minds because our blood rushes from our brain to go into all our, hands and feet to have us fight or run like heck. And because of that, we are not responding with this emotional maturity. We're reacting out of survival mode. So when you have that new awareness, as you go back and look at the storms and the situations that you went through, you can kind of see it in a different whole light, because you no longer see it as so personal. It's like swimming out to save someone who's drowning because they can't swim, and you get out there and their arms are flailing all over the place, and they smack you upside your head, and you're like, oh my God, I can't believe they hit me, and then they grab onto you in panic and drag you under the water with them, and you're like, oh my God, they're trying to murder me. It's that's the story that we're having. That's the concept that we're seeing, the story that we're applying to it while we're in that moment. But then we get to shore, we calm down, and we realize, oh, they were just in fear. So whatever actions that were being done to you, whatever words were said to you, when you realize they were out of fear and they were out of their minds, you start to look at them a little differently. You start to look at life a little differently. And you start looking at yourself a little differently as well. And then you have the Four of Swords. Swords are your thoughts, your beliefs, your mindsets, your attitudes. And when you look at the fours are like a very solid foundation. Like, think of like a table with four strong legs. It's a very strong thing. This is your mind at rest, which is the solitude. It really represents the quieting of your mind. All these thoughts and expectations, all these beliefs that you had based on your past experiences, you get to have a bit of a rest at times, which when you do, like I talked about, when you do this meditation, because this is actually a meditation stance, right? When you take time away from all the noise and get away from everything, all those shadowy thoughts and beliefs that were being repeated and looped in your head, you're able to get them out on paper. You're able to talk to a trusted friend or even a counselor or someone that can hear your thoughts and beliefs in a calm way as you talk about the storms that you've had in your life. And when you get them out, when it comes out of your mouth, sometimes it's like, well, I thought that everyone was going to hate me and throw me outside the city and I was going to starve to death. When you get to the root of your real fears and your real feelings about things, sometimes when you say them out loud, sometimes they sound kind of stupid, right? We're like, well, how would that even be possible? All of my friends would reject me. My true friends, I know I could sleep on someone's couch, or that I would get, I could get into a shelter, or I could do this. Those fears, when we keep them in the shadows and they're so dark and quiet, sometimes they don't sound as silly until we speak about them, and then we're like, oh, okay. And once we speak them out loud, our brain recognizes like, yeah, that's not true. And so, but when we keep it in darkness and keep it in the shadows, it can seem so much more true than it really is, right? Yeah, because here you have the Five of Cups. So definitely there's this sitting in your emotions, sitting, because she's actually sitting in her water here. She's seeing all the tears, looking at all the storms and all the emotions that she's dealt with in her life here. And you've got the 3 spilt cups that have brought you your pain and suffering and disappointment. And those 3 cups represent kind of 3 areas of our life. We've got relationships, whether that's romantic or family or friends or work or with our fur babies, our feather babies, whatever relationships they might be. The second cup is like situations like jobs, education, circumstances that you find yourself in. And the third one is like physical things, like even our bodies, our possessions, our bank accounts, all those things represent the external world that we've been told is supposed to fulfill us, supposed to make us feel whole and complete, but we end up feeling disappointed. And so these cups are the disappointments in those areas of our life, and you're reviewing them. You're sitting in your emotions. You're allowing yourself to feel them, not push them down anymore. You're allowing them to come to the surface. But the great news is you got the 2 cups that are standing behind you that are reinforcing you. And those 2 cups really represent like 2022 as well, because one of the chalices is your human side, and this shadowy experience that we're walking through, and the other is your higher self, that powerful supernatural being made of unconditional love. That chalice is full of those living waters of the unconditional love of the Creator, of what we're made out of. And this empty cup down here that feels so empty, right? When we're trying to fulfill ourselves from the outside world, all those things are disappointing and unstable, because those 3 cups, people change or pass away, situations never stay the same, and things break down, deteriorate, burn down, or are stolen. So those things are never fulfilling. They never fill up our cup. But when throughout 2022, when you allow your higher spiritual love to flow down into your cup of who you are, then you feel whole and complete like you have never felt before. And this joining together, walking hand in hand, your higher spirit with your human self. You realize that they're both you. One's a very, very small part of you, our shadow. The rest of it is your powerful supernatural self. But joining together, you really understand so much more about yourself, and you look at life and experience it so much differently as well. Because the number 5s are all about movement and change of your perception, change in the way you're feeling, could be change in the way you're thinking. It just is this beautiful change that happens. And then with all this process that you're going through, all that energy you were using to maintain all of this energy around these emotions that you've just been maintaining forever and ever and ever, when you move it off like these pictures here into a little photo album, you move those emotional energies out of that energy field, and you no longer invest energy in them because they've done what they've needed to do and you're ready to move on, right? Yeah, here's the Ace of Cups. So that represents the chalice I was talking about here. You're virtually, literally filling up, and that love overflows out to the world. So as you recognize this self that you are, this higher self, this beautiful unconditional love energy that you are, you literally become this phoenix, like on this goblet here, where you rise from the ashes of this storm, and you become this brand new, bright, fiery being, living a new life in a whole new way. Yep, here's your Queen of Cups. So again, you got all this cups going on, all this emotion that's really coming to the surface in 2022, but it's good because it's freeing you up, because not only is she the Queen of Cups, but all the queens also have water energy, so you get double cups. And that brings in this essence a lot like the High Priestess as well, where she is able to connect so deeply into her emotions that she's not afraid to do it. She feels empowered. She is holding the Ace of Cups right here. So she's yielding and has access to this beautiful energy, this beautiful gift of the unconditional love of our Creator of all things. You're able to drink of it and feel whole and complete and energized. And she moves in this beautiful connection, this beautiful awareness, because she does connect to the higher realms. So in the solitude, a lot like the High Priestess, she this is about taking time away and connecting. You got even the moon here, which is the Luna, mother, it's nurturing energy. It's connecting to that beautiful divine feminine side. And like in Christian faith, they would call like the Holy Spirit the comforter. It's the divine feminine side of our Creator. So much divine feminine energy and love that is flowing through this reading. So definitely a beautiful year to do that. Yeah. And as I talked about the Hermit before, and actually this is the Virgo card too. I totally forgot that when I was talking about the 9 here being the Hermit card, that is the sign of Virgo. So this is you going inward, discovering your beautiful wisdom of who you really are, this little bright lantern that helps you, move throughout your journey, is your higher self. And here's the moon again too, making itself known. So definitely it's about making sure you're taking time for your own solitude and time for you. Yeah. Because now you have the 5 of Pentacles, which, like this 5 of Cups, is about learning. And Pentacles is your outside world. It's called discs here, but it's also a suit of the Pentacles. And this is about your worth and understanding and this transformation in your self-worth. Because usually you'll see like someone, like the standard tarot, you'll have someone, 2 people walking together. One doesn't have any shoes on and they have a bandage, and one has a broken foot and a crutch, and they're out in the winter, it's out in the snow. They feel abandoned and devastated and unworthy, and no one is helping them out. But behind them is this giant stained glass window with the 5 pentacles on it, which represents spirit, which represents the creator. And there's this transformation that happens throughout this card here, which is you first of all were looking outside of yourself for your definition by like those 3 cups things, relationships, situations, and things, and they have left you feeling devastated and empty, right? But the transformation that happens throughout this next year with this card is that you realize that the creator of all things is the one who is your supplier, who brings you what you truly need. The outside world, the people, they're just the shipping company. They're just the middlemen that are bringing you what the creator is sending you. So you don't have to have this tight grasp on unworthiness and insecurity in the outside world, because you realize you have everything you need inside of you, first of all, and that you can trust and have faith that what is meant for you will not pass you by, and that the creator will bring it for you. Lastly, we're going to pull a card here, at least one, from the Art of Manifestation Oracle, and just see what your final message for your sneak peek into 2022 is. All right, what else for our little fire rockets of our Virgos, please? Okay, these 2 and these 2. Okay. Got a lot of messages here, which is awesome. We'll take whatever we can get, right? You got course correct. Card number 9 again. And this one says, if an obstacle or diversion has interrupted your plans, this card is here to assure you that the delay is providential, bringing you an opportunity to pause and reassess in order to fine-tune your direction. So again, a message of pause, course correct. Delay is happening on purpose for a purpose. So just know, sit still. The next step will reveal itself. But if it's having you pause for a moment, take advantage of that. And then you got 39, open yourself to possibility. And that says, almost everyone holds some limiting beliefs about themselves. These perceptions block us from receiving the infinite support of the universe. This card is an invitation to reassess, to look beyond these limitations, and to recognize that in opening yourself to possibility, you automatically invite positive changes into your life. So yeah, this is all about the blocks of these beliefs that are falling away. So a great message for you, that knowing that the blocks that could be happening have to do with how you, like your worthiness. And I like this because I usually say that we can only receive love and give love as much, to the extent of much as we love ourselves. So if this little eyeball here is how much we love ourselves, that we're allowing ourselves to love ourselves, that's as much as we can love others and receive love from others. But as it grows and gets bigger, then that allows us to receive more in so many different ways. Then it says, have your voice. Card number 22 for 2022, right? And that is there something that you need to say? An inability to speak out can leave us with feelings of hurt and resentment, which then create a kind of internal energy roadblock. Voice your feelings to yourself or write them down. It's time to release the past. So as I mentioned about taking the time to yourself and journal, this is a huge piece of that too. And then you got difficult emotions, card number 11. Beautiful rose though. And it says this card asks you to listen to your emotions. So I think we have that covered. Every emotion we have is necessary and important to us, even the challenging ones. Difficult feelings are letting you know that something is not okay. Learn to understand and love your emotions and discover how they serve you. Like we're talking about sitting in the bathtub of your emotions, allowing yourself to feel the feels, but also taking this ship and going back and looking at it like an adventure. Like look at your emotions without having to reactivate them all again. But there is no wrong emotion, and I love that they brought that up for you. All right, well, just remember that this is just a small little sneak peek of your 2022. It by no means is inclusive of everything that you're going to experience in 2022. And if you want to be kept in the loop on any of the other updates that we bring forward throughout the year, I do monthly readings for each zodiac sign, weekly energy updates by each of the elements like fire signs, water signs, do new moon, full moon readings, and a variety of others throughout the month and throughout the year. So if you don't want to miss out on any of those, like I mentioned in the introduction, just click the subscribe button down below and then the notification bell, and then you can set your little settings to be notified immediately, and then you won't miss out on anything. And if you are enjoying these videos and you'd like to help share them with others, if you want to give this video a little like, a little thumbs up, then that just allows the YouTube algorithm to share this as a recommended video for others. So never any pressure, but if you feel so inclined, I greatly appreciate it. All right, my lovely Virgos, just as you go throughout every second of every day of your life, please know that you are unconditionally loved by the creator of all things. And of course, I love you too. Have an amazing 2022, and I'm sure I'll be talking to you very soon. But until then, you take care.